Alright, what is up, Horrorible Games? My name is Nestani, and today we're running Scooby-Doo Not Over 100 Frights. Specifically, we're running No Levels Early, the category, or NLE as we call it, just a short version. And basically what No Levels Early is what it sounds like, where we are supposed to beat the game while not entering any level early, meaning that we're going to be playing the intended order of levels throughout the game. So a lot of categories in this game, we do various skips to just really smash open the game and skip a ton of levels. Like any percent's an 18-minute long category, and this game is like a 6-hour game. So we're basically stripping all of those tricks and all those skips away where we skip a ton of levels, and now this category is basically like play the game the intended way really fast. And it's a really cool category, especially if you're a fan of the game. You get to see all the levels in the game that you would play as if you were playing casually, just done in a very fast way. And we're also going to be doing a lot of little glitches in each level, jumping off some invisible ledges and stuff to get to certain places faster. And it's just going to be a really cool display of movement rather than tricks. And so without further ado, with that out of the way, we are also playing on the NTSC GameCube version of the game. And so now let's just hop into it and let's just show it off a little bit, shall we? All right, so we're gonna start. Timer starts on new game. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Scooby-Doo Not Over 100 Frights is a 2.5D/3D action platforming Metroidvania, meaning that there are a ton of upgrades throughout the game that we're going to be collecting. And again, since this is No Levels Early, we're actually going to be collecting all of those upgrades. And we're also going to be, we're just going to be collecting all of those upgrades. And we're going to be doing a lot of platforming and a lot of really cool movement along the way. And in this first level that we're going to enter, you're going to see us do this a lot, where we're going out of our way to collect these things called Scooby Snacks. These are all the snacks that I'm collecting right now, making that little chomping sound. That kind of sound here where we're collecting all of these. And this is because No Levels Early, what we do in a lot of other categories is that we skip a lot of these things called snack gates, which are unavoidable things that you have to pay with a certain amount of snacks. And so since we can't skip any levels, we're actually not going to be skipping, we are only legally allowed to skip one snack gate, which I'll bring up later, but we basically have to pay every snack gate in the game in this category, meaning that we're gonna have to go out of our way a lot in order to collect some snacks. So you're gonna see us do that a lot, where we're not necessarily, this is a snack gate by the way, where we're not necessarily going through the levels the fastest order possible, but a combination of, like, you know, matching speed with a ton of snacks that we're gonna have to collect throughout the game. And speaking of snacks, we're going to do a little trick known as chandelier jump here, where we're going to use our single jump to jump on top of the chandelier and get those 2 snack boxes. Now you're going to see us prioritizing snack boxes a lot as we talk to Holly right there, and we're going to get and she gives us the map upgrade, which is going to be very important for a trick that we're going to see very soon. And she also triggers Don Knotts to spawn. Don Knotts essentially gives us the shovel so that we can dig, and this is our first upgrade that we're going to be collecting. And back to the snack boxes that I collected, those are worth 5 snacks each, so we're going to be prioritizing snack box heavily in this run since we need so many snacks. And then now I kind of want to introduce the whole main thing of what you're going to be seeing in basically every single level, and that is cycles. So everything that moves in this game is on a set cycle. So enemies are on a cycle, hooks, platforms, everything that moves that is not us is on a set cycle. So what you're going to see in literally every single level is that we're going to be making certain platform cycles, certain enemy cycles, just like this rat cycle here, where we're going to get past this last rat without getting hit, just like that. And we're going to make a ton of these movement cycles throughout the game in order to basically minimize the amount of time that we spend in each level while maximizing the amount of snacks that we're collecting in each level, again, since we have to collect so many snacks. And basically anything that moves, we're going to be making a set cycle. And I will be pointing out a ton of these cycles throughout the game. So right here, we're supposed to be playing a mini game with Shaggy here, but instead what we're going to do is we're just going to not, and we're just going to come up here, we're just going to do some movement again, get another snack box, jump up here. This is rubber band skip, because we're a strong and independent dog. We don't need no man. We don't need Shaggy's help to throw us up there, so we're just going to jump up there ourselves, and then we're going to slide through all of these hooks right here, collect this snacks, jump up to this life preserver, do a little swingy wingy, and then we're going to make our way on through all of these hooks. And we're going to make our way to the second snack gate of the game, the 50 snack gate. Now, the thing about these snack gates is that they scale up very heavily. And so all the way up to 850, which is why we have to collect so many snacks. So right here, this is known as the tar, the sticky tar. Now, we can't we can't run or jump. See, I'm pressing A, B, can't run or jump. But in this next level, we can do a thing called tar strats, where we line it up with the metronome and we have a 2-frame window to basically jump off the tar before it sucks us down. And again, since we're not entering a level early, we're allowed to do that. So any glitches like that, we are allowed to do in this category. And now we're just going to simply walk through the tar now, getting an extra 5 snacks, which is huge in this category. Getting extra 5 snacks is a big time save. And now we get our second Metroidvania upgrade, the double jump, which allows us to double jump into the springs. And now we're going to do a trick known as pause storage. So beep, beep, remember the map that I was talking about? This is what the map does. Basically, we unplug the controller, press quit game S at the same time. It makes that sound. And then now we can just pause storage. And basically what this does is allow us to warp without a warp gate. So normally you need to enter a warp gate in order to warp. But essentially what pause storage allows us to do is just that, warp without a warp gate. Now we do have to have the warp gate that we are warping to activated before we can warp to it. Since we already have the Mystery Machine one by default, we can just warp back to Mystery Machine. And so here, this is Hedge 1, and this is a good opportunity to talk about this dash tech that I'm using right here. So every time that you see me dash, it's very specific. So basically, Scooby's charge attack, it's very slow at the beginning, as you see, and then I speed up exponentially. And so what this means is what you're going to see me doing throughout the whole game is dashing over long distances, because Scooby's charge attack, essentially, if you use it over a short distances, if you use it over a shorter distance, you're not really going to get a good value out of it. So you're only going to see me dashing over very long periods. And if there's ever a point where I'm just doing this R running here, that is because it's faster to R run than B dash. And so it's a really big separator between like lower level play and higher level play, where we choose to dash and how we dash. And also another thing about the dash is that it's a pretty unwieldy thing, especially around turns. So it's a pretty hard thing to control, but like once you get it down, you can really like swing around corners. And that, by the way, haha, was bridge jump. And so we use bridge jump to get on top of here, because normally you need the plungers in order to go up that little hill there that you saw. But instead, we can just jump up using a little piece of the bridge, and we can jump up here and get a ton of extra snacks. And again, snacks are king in this category. We want all the snacks in the game, basically. We're not doing hundo, but we're kind of doing a decent amount of hundo, to be honest. And that just gives us a lot of extra snacks where we're not technically supposed to be there yet. But again, we can do a little trick, get a couple extra snacks, and make our way into Hedge 3. And we're going to dig up a little snack box here. We're going to jump over that guy. And then we're going to talk about the next level real quick as we make our way through Hedge 4. Now, Hedge 4, if you are aware, is an auto-scroller. But since, and we have to go through this auto-scroller because, again, we have to enter the levels in the intended order, as you would playing the game. But we have a sneaky trick lined up here. And this is called Hedge 4 auto-scroll skip. So as you can see, I have 5 health in the top left corner. That's the max health that you can get. And you need 5 health in order to do this trick. And that is because we're going to skip about half the auto-scroll, a bit more than half of the auto-scroll, actually. So the auto-scroll is going to start up the same way, but essentially what we're going to do is that we're going to damage abuse our way throughout this level. So the floor right here, it will damage us when it hits us, because the game wants you to, you know, participate in the auto-scroll with Shaggy. But again, we're strong independent dog. We don't need no man, so we're not going to participate with Shaggy, and we're just going to leave him in the dust right now. So I'm going to get hit there, and then I'm going to get hit again. And now I'm at 3 health, and as long as I make it to this platform with 3 health, I'm good, because there's 2 health items here, and then I'm just going to keep making my way through this level, damage abusing, while also collecting all of these snacks, jumping off this lamppost, jumping up here, getting that snack box, getting these, jumping over this guy, making our way through, just completely damage abusing and skipping this whole auto-scroller section, which is really nice, because again, we don't want to participate in auto-scrollers. And then we're going to jump up here, get our final snack box, and now we're going to see, again, we are at 1 health, but now we are at the end. So again, if I didn't have 5 health there, I actually couldn't do that trick. And so now we've just skipped the entire auto-scroller where we don't have to just wait for Shaggy to drive us everywhere. And now we are right here at the next snack gate, and now we're going to enter Greenhouse. Now, Greenhouse is a very perilous level because if you notice, I have 1 health right now. And Greenhouse has a lot of things that can just hit us and kill us. So for the next bit until about Hill 3, we're going to be in the danger zone of dying. And I'm going to do my best to not die. And we're just going to kind of just dash over through here. And we're just going to kind of dodge all these enemies and all of these little green spit cloud guys, these plants. And we're going to kind of use our hitbox manipulation right there. Again, if we jump in a certain way, we can actually kind of get a bit of immunity frames. In order to get past certain enemies in this game, we jump. So as you saw, I basically jumped out of that cloud, and so I didn't get hit. And basically, if I didn't initiate that jump, I would have gotten hit there in that same exact spot. But because I jumped, I can basically get a bit more leeway because of my hitbox shift, because my hitbox shifts whenever we jump. So you're going to see us using the jump to jump over enemies, as well as our dash like that to dash around enemies. And that is because Scooby's dash, there's a thing about it where the hitbox shrinks to his head. And because the hitbox shrinks to his head, we can essentially, as long as we're aiming our head away from enemies like this, we're going to see it again right now. As long as we aim our head away from enemies, we won't get hit by those enemies. And here, we're going to kind of just jump off this invisible ledge here on the tree, and we're going to jump all the way to the top of the tree in order to get some extra snacks. So we're going to jump down here, dig up this snack box here, collect the snack box, and then we're going to dash down, and we're going to do it again, because getting to the top of the trees, there's a lot of snacks up here that are pretty quick. Now, there are also snacks at the bottom of here, but these snacks are actually slower than the snacks up top, so we're just going to be collecting the ones up top. I fell here, no worries, there is a backup. We jump off there and jump all the way back up, and we're going to continue our way. And the reason we don't want to go down on the bottom is because you see those, there's some swinging tree branches there, which essentially hit us and slow us down. And so typically staying on top is faster to do, so that we don't have to deal with those branches right there, because there's so many at the bottom. Basically, they swing and hit us, and every time we get hit, we're losing about a second. So we want to avoid those as much as possible. And since there's roughly the same amount of snacks up top as there is at the bottom, it's worthwhile for us to just stay up top so that we don't have to deal with any of those things. And here's another little skip that we're going to do, where we're going to jump off, jump up kind of like on the little hedge there, and we're going to jump up here. Now, normally you're not supposed to be up here until you get what is known as the soap upgrade, and normally you're supposed to soap this guy here. And basically the soap creates a bubble around enemies, and you're basically supposed to jump off of him to get up there in order to get those snacks. But essentially what we do is that we can actually just jump up in a very specific angle up to that hedge, and we can just skip all of that and do it earlier than intended and get some extra snacks. And you're going to see a lot more of that. And now we're going to make our way up to the top of hill. And we're going to kind of make a cycle with a boulder. There's not a true boulder cycle here, but essentially we want to make it here before the boulder falls in the pit, which we did. And then we just basically jump over him, and then we're going to jump up here. Now, you're going to see a lot of hitbox shifting. Like, again, we're going to use the charge attack to get around that guy without getting hit, aiming our head away from him. And then up here, you're going to see me jump over people. But I wanted to discuss more about pause storage, because I kind of gloss over it. But pause storage, essentially how it works is that we bring up a debug menu where the devs just left it in, and we basically use two menus in order to basically just work without a warp gate. We're going to do another one right here, again making that sound, and then again we have two menus open, and we're going to warp. And again, that trick is a little risky, because as you saw, I'm hovering over Quick Game S and I'm unplugging the controller while pressing A at the same time. And so technically every time we do the trick, we risk the chances of resetting, but I have pretty good confidence that I will not be doing that. So in manner one, we're going to kind of go up this backside here with our newly acquired double jump in order to get some extra snacks. And then we're going to go through this hallway, and again, with our newly acquired double jump, we're going to get all these snacks at the top, and then we're going to immediately leave this level and make our way into Clamor 2, where we're going to try to make a cycle with a Headless Spectre in the back room. So not this Headless Spectre, but this one back here. And essentially what we want to do is make it past him and hit this box just like that without hitting him. And then we're going to frame perfect the spider web and make our way through and jump up here. Again, we're supposed to soap that guy in order to get that snack box as well, but we can just jump off using the chair. And basically what you saw there was a frame perfect. And basically frame perfect's just essentially whenever I hit things with my head, it plays a bonking animation, and I basically just cancel that animation. And basically you can cancel that animation whenever you hit things, and then you don't have to sit down. And so we're going to do that a couple times in this run. It's not the most prevalent in this run in terms of time saves compared to something like any %, but it is still a good amount of time save that we can do. And then we're going to just kind of make our way through here, and we're going to kind of dash around this guy and collect this key. Normally you need to press a button at the end of this level in order to get the key, but we can just jump and get that key right there. The button that you would press is that one right there, and so we actually don't want to press that button because there is a very long cutscene that we don't want to watch, and then we have to also go back and collect the key. So we just skip all of that, and we just collect the key ourselves first. We're going to kind of clip into this hallway just a little bit because, again, we're prioritizing snack boxes heavily. We just got 10 snacks really, really quickly there, and we're going to make our way through the level, paying the next snack gate. And basically a big part of NLE is snack count, and right now I have a really good snack count. This is actually where I want to be with my snack count. I haven't missed too many snacks, so we're actually sitting pretty here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use the wall here to jump up. Oh, we are going to use the wall. Please use the wall. Oh, there we go. And we want to use the wall in order to jump up like that to get up to the top of these chandeliers and basically just swing off of them and get some snack boxes. Sometimes these walls can be a bit finicky, whether they're going to let you get the required ledge or not, because you can kind of get a lot of different ledges along walls in this game. It's kind of a reoccurring thing. And right here, there's a cutscene trigger right in front of us. What we're going to do is jump off of this lamp and jump over the cutscene trigger. So there's probably a 10-second cutscene right there that we just don't want to watch. Again, we are going to be skipping a lot of the cutscenes, especially in Manor. We're going to be skipping a lot of cutscenes because, again, watching cutscenes are slow and we don't want to do it. So right there, we just skip that cutscene, and now we're going to make another cycle in this level right here with the door. Hopefully, okay, I should get it. And basically, we want to exit the level. We want to exit that hallway before that door shuts again. So again, I got there a little early, so it was already shut. So that means really good movement there in order to make that cycle. And then now we're going to make our way into Manor 3. And again, just collecting a lot of snacks along the way. And right here, again, we're actually going to collect a little bit of a troll snack box there. You can't really see it unless you use the shadows, and then we're going to dash our way through here. Unfortunately, we cannot skip this cutscene, but this cutscene's like 2-3 seconds long, so we just kind of go through. And we're just going to skip doing that whole level because we can just jump across right there. We don't actually need to go back across the whole way. And there's not that many snacks over that way either. So we essentially just skip the whole back half of that room because we just don't want those snacks because they're pretty slow. And then now we're going to make our way out of Manor, and we're going to get into Upstairs 1, where this is probably the hardest level in all of NLE. So I'm going to try to talk my way through it, but I'm going to be kind of focusing throughout here. So this is the first kind of roadblock here where we get around this guy. And there's a cycle in the beginning of this level where we go around here and basically get past that chandelier before it comes back down, dash over here, dodge that guy, jump past the chandelier, go down this hallway, again juke him with the hitbox manipulation that we have on our B dash, and we're going to do that a lot more throughout these levels. And we're going to do this a bit more. Again, B dashing around that guy, hitting these snacks, maybe hitting this one. Oh, so you can actually use your B dash to B-dash around that guy and still get the snack that's on top of the witch doctor there. Unfortunately, I didn't accidentally hit him, but that is Upstairs 1. That is a very difficult level to do, and that went very well. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's probably one of the more difficult ones. And right here, we're going to do something known as a skid jump. So that is a skid jump. You're going to be like, what the hell just happened? What the heck just happened? I didn't say hell. And basically, if we release the R button while we are in the air, we get some extra frames of actionability so that we can jump at a later time than intended. These are known as coyote frames, and we basically just extend the amount of coyote frames while we're skidding so that we can initiate a double jump later than intended. And we basically use that to skip to the top of those stairs, which those stairs actually turn into slopes, which we need plungers in order to get up. So we can actually use that skid jump in order to get up to the top of those stairs and basically just bulldoze past that level and past all the cutscenes that come with that level. And again, using our treasure tech to get around this guy, that zombie there. And then we're going to go through here, and this is one of the few spots in this game where we will have to play Shaggy's minigame. Unfortunately, most of the times we can skip them, but this one we can't because there's just no way to open up this wall here without Shaggy staying on the button. You see how the door flickered open there? Don't forget about me, Scoob! And basically, we're just going to bring them up here, and we actually put them on the platform before we come up, just so that we don't have to watch him walk all the way over there. Now we're going to kind of skid forward and then make our way into upstairs 4, where we're going to try to fall to the ground while this cutscene plays. We'll see if I can get it. I did not, unfortunate. It's a bit tight of a dash, and basically we want to time our charge attack so that we basically skid off of the platform and land down here, because there are some fast snacks here, but that's all right. We just lose probably about a second. No big deal. Again, doing another skid jump, extending the amount of kaido frames we have until we can double jump, and then we're going to make our way up top here, dash around. Ideally dash around these enemies or hit them, XD, and then we're going to make our way through. Again, snack check here, 1022 before paying the snack gate. Very, very good. We're doing well in terms of snack count right now. And so now we're going to be doing Don't Look Down, or DLD. And this is one of the few, what do you call it? One of the few cutscenes that we cannot skip in this run, but that's all right. At least there's only one. You know what I mean? And then we're just gonna dash through here, dash around these bats, and jump before this rat hits us. And then we're gonna make a cycle with this werewolf at the bottom here. Yep. Nope. A creeper. It's a creeper, not a werewolf. My bad. We're gonna make a cycle with that creeper, getting that snack before he runs on top of it. And then we're gonna jump over this spider, and then dash to the left of this spider, and make our way into DLD2. Or Don't Look Down to, and we're going to hit this bat intentionally here. Now we want to hit this bat because we're making a cycle here with this carpet, and we're going to hit that guy because basically we have so much time before this carpet lands that we can just kind of do 2 free hits, and we also want to hit that bat there so that he is not in our way later on, because essentially whenever we drop down here, use a skid jump again there in order to get some extra snacks without hitting that guy, we would hit the bat right there. As soon as we turn that corner, the bat would be in our way. So it's actually in our best interest to hit the bat earlier, especially since we have the time before the carpet comes down. We don't get punished for it, and we get to save time later on. So we do a little bit of setup at the beginning of that level in order to go faster at the end of the level. Then right here, we're going to make a cycle with the chandelier at the top of this level. Like that, without getting hit. That's good. And then we're going to make our way through attic. And in attic, you're going to see the slopes. Normally we need the plungers upgrade in order to basically dodge these slopes, but we can actually use a little jump. You saw me boost off the slope there in order to get a bit of extra speed. And then we're just going to kind of make our way through this hallway, because again, these snacks are pretty quick. And we're just going to kind of just do a little loop, collect some extra snacks, and then make our way up top here and make our way into Attic 3. And in Attic 3, this is one of my favorite levels in the game because it's just a really flashy level to watch, especially in NLE and how we move through here. Because we basically just slide around all these enemies, jump around all these enemies, and collect a bunch of snacks while turning really sharp corners. And we're basically just going to drop down here, jump, get that snack box, and then make our way over here. And then dash, jump over this guy, collect the final key that we need to open this door, and then make our way out. It's just a very fluid level and just a very fun one to watch. And then we're going to make our way into Attic 4, where we're going to basically just kind of make our way through and miss like half the snacks over here. I'm going to actually round back for those. Make sure I hit that snack box, and then come back here. And NLE is like one of the few categories where like turning back for snacks is kind of a good thing in certain scenarios. If it doesn't cost you too much time, you can kind of make the judgment call a lot better in this category where you want to turn back. Like if you miss a snack box, you will definitely want to turn back, but you can even turn back for single snacks like you saw if they're not too far out of your way, which is kind of different from other categories, because other categories, if you miss a snack, normally you just want to skip it, unless obviously it's hundo or something. And we're just going to kind of make our way through here, dodging all these guys, and then make our way out of Attic. And again, 400 snack gate right here. You see how these snack gates have steadily rose and their cost. Again, very, very big thing, which is why we're collecting so many snacks, because essentially, if you don't know, there's 2 snacks later on near the end of the game, which cost 750 and 850 snacks respectively, which is a lot of snacks, first of all. But on top of the other snack gates in the game, it just really adds a lot of snacks that we have to pay in this run. And right here, we're going to make a cycle with this guy, jump up before him, and then we're going to make a cycle with these shooty boys, where we're going to get past that shooting thing. Basically, these things kill you if you get hit by them. And we're basically going to make our way through so that we don't get hit by any of them while going as fast as possible. We're going to jump around here, and normally we need to hit that button in order to activate a cutscene in order to open this door, but we're actually not going to do that, because what we're going to do is we're just going to simply just jump over the door. And we're just going to dash our way through here, and how we're going to do that is literally just jump over the door. We're going to jump over here and then jump around and around the door, and we don't have to watch that cutscene, and we don't have to open the door, and we can just make our way through dark and stormy just like this. And then we're essentially just going to make our way through here. It's Geronimo. We love Geronimo, but this is actually, they only use Geronimo. There's only like 3 Geronimos in the game, unfortunately. This is one of them. One of my favorite enemies to mimic, because he's just so fun to mimic. It's a really fun enemy, but we're just going to use Shaggy to toss us up there so that we can get along this carpet and kind of just make our way through here. And we have to watch that cutscene, unfortunately, because we need Shaggy there in order to get the keys, in order to open the door. There's no other way to get up there. And we're going to slide off of the roof there and jump up and get that snack box. Again, normally you need the plungers in order to run there, but we actually use the momentum from the roof slide in order to basically just send ourselves over there, which is really, it's a really cool trick to watch. And we're going to just use Shaggy. Oh, get hit by the bat. Unfortunate. We're going to use Shaggy, and we're going to jump over this tar, because, again, you can't run or jump a tar. And then now we are going to fight the Black Knight, who will, hey, guess what? Allow us to run or jump on the tar. So, again, we're going to jump over the tar here as we enter, just to get a bit of extra speed. And now we're going to fight Black Knight. So this is the first boss fight that we're going to fight. And if you notice, we're 27 minutes into the run fighting Black Knight. We get here pretty quick, I would say. And if you also notice, Black Knight's about the halfway point of the run as well. And so also, if you don't know how Black Knight works, essentially we need him to walk in front of all 4 of these buttons, and we need to hit him like that and zap him. And this boss fight, as you can probably tell, is RNG, where Black Knight goes. So we just want him to walk in front of all 4 buttons so that we can kill him. But other times we just watch him just throw his axes, and we're like, cool, thank you, Mr. Black Knight, very cool. But right after this, what we're going to do is that we are going to, as soon as we get the galoshes from him, we are going to, and basically his upgrade, the galoshes, allow us to run and jump on the tar, as you could probably guess. And then we're going to use those galoshes in order to get into Fishy, where we're going to make our way to the Super Smash upgrade next. We're going to do another pause storage where we're just going to warp without the use of warp gate, because there is a warp gate in the next level, but we just don't want to enter that, so we can just basically just move our way through and warp back to Shock in the Dock 2, use our plungers in order to get into Fishy. And now we're going to go into Fishy 1. Now, Fishy 1's a really cool level because of these. So these are treadmills, and essentially if we travel with them, we go really fast, as you can see. But when we travel against them, we kind of go down, we slow down to a screeching halt. So what we want to do here is that when we're against a treadmill like that, we want to jump off on the first frame that we land so that we can keep our air momentum, so that we can keep going forward. So again, I'm trying to jump off as soon as I land so that I save most of my momentum as I travel through the level, and I did a pretty good job of doing that. And when we travel with the treadmills, obviously we want to stay on them because they will make us faster. And so up next is Fishy 2, which is kind of a little bit of an auto-scrollery type level, but you can mess this up. And an interesting part about this level is that you won't necessarily gain or lose time in this level because of the movement is pretty forgiving in terms of the cycles. But what's not forgiving is the amount of snacks that you can collect on these cycles. So in this level, it's kind of interesting because you won't save or lose time in this level directly, but let's say I didn't get that snack, which is known as the good boy snack, and if you move fast enough, you can get an extra snack there on the platform where the ghost diver was walking on. And basically, I can lose time to snacks in the run. And so the reason that we go out of our way to collect all these snacks is because we're actually collecting the fastest snacks in the game. Even though we're going out of our way, we are collecting the fastest snacks possible for the amount that we need to collect. And so if we miss, if we miss too many snacks, we will actually lose time later on in the run because we're going to have to collect slower snacks later on, which we don't want to do because we already have to spend so much time collecting snacks. If we have to collect even slower snacks because we just missed like a bunch of snacks, that's double the movement that we're going to lose. And so Fishy 1 is one of those levels where we could lose time to snacks because we could just in general like miss like 1 or 2 snacks, which can add up to like 1, 2, 3 seconds. And basically like certain snacks are worth more than others in terms of movement. So certain snacks are a lot more punishing to miss, especially the ones in Fishy 2 because they should be guaranteed snacks. Because a lot of snacks, because a lot of snacks are pretty easy to miss, but like certain levels like Fishy 2, you should be getting those snacks every single time. And again, using the momentum to fly through this level, that was really good, by the way. And then we're going to make our way up here, collect all these snacks, and then make our way out of Fishy. And basically, for the snacks that are guaranteed, we really, really want to hit those snacks. So like Fishy 2, again, since like movement isn't that demanding and we're just making set cycles with the platforms and stuff, it's much more important in those levels in order to hit all the snacks that we need to hit. And if we don't, then like certain other levels that have more demanding movement where it's easier to miss snacks, you get punished more for, because essentially there are... Again, you want the guaranteed snacks, quote unquote guaranteed, right? You want to hit the easier snacks rather than relying on having to hit the harder snacks in certain levels. And so in Coast 1, we're going to demonstrate Scooby's charge attack a bit more here as we slide around this guy. And again, we can jump over enemies just like that and dodge them, but we can also slide around them just like that with our helmet. You can see a lot clearer as we aim our head away from enemies. I almost died there. We're good. And then we're actually going to do a cutscene skip right here. So normally there's a cutscene right here, but what we're going to do is we're going to hit the cutscene. Never mind. We're not going to do cutscenes. We're just going to watch it. Haha. Normally what we want to do is we can jump on top of that pole right there and skip the cutscene like that. Unfortunately, I did not hit it, but we're going to do this jump here, get that snack box, and we're just going to make our way. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show off that cutscene skip, but it is what it is. It's a bit tight. Sometimes you can just hit it if you go a bit too far forward, and unfortunately I did, but we're just going to make our way through. The back half of Coast 1, again, ton of snack boxes back here, so they're really, really quick for us to get. And we're just going to make our way down the slide here. And we're going to make our way to the end of the level where you get to see a lot of charge movement, which is really cool with these boxes. So these boxes contain the keys, the 4 keys that we need to unlock the next level, and a bunch of snack boxes. So we want to collect all these snack boxes. And again, we're aiming our head away so we didn't get hit by that fishy just like that. And we're going to dash in very tight circles around here in order to make our way around here. And now this is the level where we really get to see Scooby's charge attack shrink to his head. We're going to see this heavily, and as we go down here, we're going to slide around all of these enemies, and we're going to make a cycle known as a 0 cycle, where we make it past this first smashing box before it smashes, and we get both of these snacks, and boom, smash it. If he smashes down, we get 0 cycle, and we can make our way through without a hitch. And that's really Scooby's charge attack in really heavy motion in that level. And then now, again, just using Scooby's charge attack selectively in places in order to get around that enemy. But again, right here, we're not going to charge because it's slower to charge there. And we're going to make a cycle with these flying fish. So you see those snack arcs in the back? We want those. And normally we need to press a button with the Super Smash in order to get those. But instead what we're going to do is that we're going to get hit by one of these flying fishes. I did not make the cycle, but we're going to hit one of these flying fishes, and then we're going to become Great Dane Jesus and walk across the water in order to get to the back half there. This is because whenever we get hit, we get some iframes, and so we can use the iframes to walk on water, whereas we would normally drown in the water instead. And now we're going to jump off an invisible fishnet, which is basically only in certain versions of the game. I have NTSC 1.0, which is one of the versions of the game which does have that fishnet. And then we get to use that fishnet, jump across, and make our way into Witchway. And again, you saw that snack gate was 500 snacks. As you can see, they are scaling up each time that we pay a snack gate. We're going to jump over that tar monster, and we're going to jump off of the little ledge along the wall there just to get the extra height needed to collect all those snacks. We're going to dash, and the camera's not doing us any favors, but because we know where the snacks are, we can just do that without a hitch, and we're going to get some extra snacks down in that tunnel. We're going to jump up there, get those extra snacks, and then get these snack boxes and hopefully dash around this tar monster here and make our way into Lighthouse 1 where the Super Smash upgrade is located. So that is another example of a frame perfect where I hit the button without sitting down on the ground. And again, each time that we hit a frame perfect, we save about a second unless we fail to break open the box with our head, in which case we completely just shoot all of the time save that we got from the frame perfect down the toilet. That's all right though. Because now we essentially just don't get punished. So because we got that frame perfect, because we messed up hitting that box open, we essentially just don't get punished that much. Because frame perfects are pretty much just an added bonus, since they are, as said, frame perfects, it's just pretty hard to hit them, especially as you're moving. We're going to go for another one here. Didn't get it, but see, that's the bonking animation I was talking about, where you hit something and then you just sit on the ground, and then that gives us the Super Smash upgrade, which is essentially just a ground pound from Super Mario, where we use it to break open the floorboards there. Now, I want to talk about up next, because normally there is another 500 snack gate that we have to pay in order to get into the levels creepy. But there is an intended shortcut left in by the devs in Shock 2. And so this is the one snack gate I was alluding to earlier when I said that we could skip some snack gates. So we're going to activate this. You can see that snack gate in that tunnel in the back. And basically, once we pay that, we enter Creepy 1. But what we can do is that we can skip that snack gate. We can use the shortcut left in with our newly acquired Super Smash, and we can get into Creepy 1 like this, which is super, super worth the little load screen. It takes about 10 seconds to do that, rather than having to collect 500 snacks, which is a ton of snacks. And again, snacks are time, especially in this category. So if we can cut out snacks, we want to collect out snacks, because we already have to go out of our way and collect so many. Being able to cut down 500 is a huge boon for us. And we're going to jump around all of these rocks. We're going to use our Super Smash right there to extend the amount of time in the air, because we can essentially use our Super Smash as a directional so that we can get a bit more further out and basically extend our jumps a bit so we can get back onto that ledge there, so that we don't have to jump all the way down and then jump all the way back up, essentially. And again, we're using Scooby's jump here in order to kind of move our hitbox around so we don't get hit by that green stuff coming out of the cauldron, so we can collect all 4 keys. Super Smash here. And then we're gonna, missed a snack there. It's all right. And then we're gonna make our way through here, and we're gonna, again, skip the use of Shaggy. We're gonna jump off of that ledge on the wall there, and again, skip the Shaggy minigame. Normally you need him to throw us up there, but again, since we're in the level, we can do whatever glitches we want in each level, as long as we're doing them in the right order. And so we're just gonna use that in order to skip the Shaggy minigame and allow us to get to Creepy 3 a bit faster. And now in Creepy 3, what we're going to do is we're just going to collect some snacks, and we're going to collect the Plungers upgrade. And essentially what the Plungers upgrade does is the Plungers upgrade, again, right there, we use the Super Smash to extend the amount of time, our hang time in the air, so that we could collect that box. And again, and so back to the Plungers, we're going to just kind of warp our way back to Skull Cliff, as that's the next level that we need to go to. And basically the Plungers allow us to get up steep slopes. So if you remember back in Attic 2, you probably don't. I'm probably just not even going to say that. But it just allows us to get up steep slopes. And so that'll allow us to get into Misbehavin' 2, which we will see in a bit after all 4 Skull Cliff levels. So right there, we death abused at the very beginning of the level to skip a really long cutscene that shows us the entirety of Skull 1, because, hey, we know the layout of Skull 1. I've been speedrunning for a bit. I already know the layout. I don't need to see it. So I'm just going to run off and have Scooby death abuse, and essentially, oh my god, I almost died, and make our way into the back half of Skull 1, because again, there are some very fast snacks in the back half of here, and we're just going to jump down and make our way through here and collect all these snacks, and we're going to death abuse again. And basically what death abusing does is that whatever door that you enter a level into, we basically death abuse, and it warps you back to wherever you entered the level from. And so you see me death abuse a lot, and I don't think I've described it before, but that is what death abusing does. We just die and we go back to the door that we entered at before. Again, using our Super Smash and the skid jump, combining to get over that really long gap so that we don't have to so that we don't have to hit the button and wait for that really long cutscene to play in order to have the platforms move. We can just use a skid jump plus the super smash to really extend the amount of times that we have in the air and make our way past there. That's sneakily one of the hardest jumps in the game. I made it look pretty easy, but I have so much trouble with that one. And we're just going to kind of make our way through Skull 2, try to avoid all of these boulders, and then we're going to use our Super Smash to basically jump off this fish and stun him so that we can get all the snacks above him and get around him. And then at Skull 3, we're going to make a very tight cycle, but what we're going to do is we're actually not going to dash at all, because if we dash at any point in this level, we will actually make ourselves unable to hit the cycle. And this is a good example of like what I was talking about with the charge attack, where it's faster to not use it in certain spots. And Skull 3 is a really good example of that, is getting to that platform and getting over here in a timely manner. And essentially, if we dashed at all, we would have not made the cycle, and or would have missed a ton of snacks, because we would be voluntarily missing snacks as we go over. So right there is a good example of how our running and just not B-dashing at all can actually be faster than using the charge attack. So right here, we're going to use this Super Smash again to get on this little ledge here, and then go over here. We're going to use another skid jump in order to clear this gap and jump over here to this platform and basically skip that whole section of Skull 4. Normally you have to like go across the top of Skull 4 there in order to jump on some platforms in order to get to the other side here. But instead we skip all of that just with a skid jump and a Super Smash, because there are just not that many snacks up top in Skull 4. And so if there's not that many snacks, if there are not a ton of snacks where we are pathing to, we generally don't want to path to that spot, because we need to collect so many snacks. And then here we're gonna make a cycle with this platform, hopefully. Okay, I made it. And where we're gonna get over here, and basically we almost die there. Normally we can use the momentum from the platform and hold that momentum a bit longer. I kind of got sucked back down into the platform, unfortunately, but that's something that can happen with platforms, is that it functions similar to the treadmill. If they're traveling with you, you want to travel with them, and if they're traveling against you, you want to jump off immediately. And that was an example of, I didn't hit the A button well enough, so I got sucked back down into the platform, and it sharked my momentum a little bit, and it almost killed me. But luckily, I was able to respond fast enough and make the correction. And then right here, we're gonna dash on through here over these little crevices, and then we're going to make our way and pay this 550 snack gate. As you can see, all these snack gates, 500, 550, 400. A ton of snacks. And right here we're going to spam the A button, and nice. And so we spam the A button there and spam jump, so we can skip. There's a cutscene at the beginning of that level, but for some reason we can just hold left and just spam A and get through the cutscene. Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it does. And then we're just going to make our way and collect all the keys in this level here, Misbehaving 1. And then we're about to use our plungers for the very first time in this run. As you can see that slope in the background, we're going to use the plungers from there. And I want to talk about the floor here. So this is ice physics. So basically, if we want to change our direction on this floor, you'll see me jump a lot, because we're basically slipping and sliding, and we go really fast on the slip and slide, which is nice. But if we want to change directions, it basically doesn't allow us to charge at all, and also doesn't allow us to change directions very well. So we have to jump in order to initiate a charge, and then we have to jump also in order to switch directions fast. And again, you saw the little orange things pop on my feet there. That was us using the plungers in order to get to the top of Misbehaving 1 so that we can access Misbehaving 2 the legal way. We do have a skip for that we use in all bosses, where it's called plunger skip, where we jump into the water and die. There's a ledge on that wall, and unfortunately I missed it. It's all right. We just spawn here. It's actually one of the least punishing deaths to take there, to be perfectly honest. But we do have a plunger skip in order to get into this level earlier than intended. But again, this is no levels early. We cannot enter levels earlier than intended. So we're just going to simply use the plungers in order to get to the top of that. And then now we're going to enter Misbehaving 3. And now that at the top of Misbehaving 3 is where we want to go. And if you can't tell from the very big, long panning animation, you can probably guess what this level is. That is right, it is an auto-scroller. We love auto-scrollers. So this is one of the only auto-scrollers where we have to participate in. This is actually the only auto-scroller in the game where we have to participate in. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Also, I'm slightly concerned if I'm going to be able to make this. Okay, we're good. And so this level is very punishing, because if you die, you have to start all the way at the bottom. So I'm going to do my best to not die in this level. But it is an auto-scroller where we just kind of just ride all the way up here. Not much we can do about it. We just have to ride and wait for the water. And this is actually the only auto-scroller in the game where we don't have a skip for right now. Hedge 4, you saw that we had the damage abuse skip where we can skip like about half of the auto-scroller. We only have to participate in for about, a couple seconds. And then there's actually a level coming up soon. It's called Tight Spot 2. It's the level after the next one that we're going to enter, where that is a pseudo auto-scroller, but we actually have a skip for it in AMT and all bosses, or all monster tokens and all bosses, where essentially we just skip the auto-scroller like that. We're actually going to participate in that auto-scroller too in this level, just because in that level there are a ton of snacks along the walls which we want to get, and it's actually worth playing the auto-scroller because the auto-scroller skip only saves about 12 seconds, but you lose a ton of snacks. And obviously in this category we're prioritizing snacks very, very heavily. So again, we could die here. We're about at the end. If we died here, we would have to start over the whole auto-scroll over again, meaning we would have to do another 2.5 minutes of gameplay, which would be not fun, but we're just going to make our way through here. And that's actually the only upgrade in the game we're not collecting. So that upgrade right there is just like the upgraded version of the Super Smash, but it doesn't really do anything besides just give you an AoE like stun area for your ground pound, which we don't need. We don't need that stun for anything, so we're just going to skip that and just save a couple seconds by not having to collect that. And we're going to make a cycle here known as Beat My Keys. We're going to still make a cycle known as Beat My Keys. We're just going to die first, XD. But we're going to make a cycle here with Beat My Keys, where we're going to jump over here, put our face in the shovel, and as soon as we get hit by that, we're going to dash here and then fall down into this crevice, and that is Beat My Keys. Unfortunately, took a little bit of a tumble there. And now we're going to make our way into Tight Spot 2, which is what I like to say Urn Room. And we're going to take a death here because there's a cutscene at the beginning of this level. We want to skip cutscenes. And again, we get to skip that cutscene. And now this is the pseudo auto-scroller I was talking about. But again, there's a ton of snacks along these walls. So participating in this auto-scroller is actually a good time investment for us, just because of how many snacks we are getting. We're just going to make our way through here. We're going to use the Super Smash in order to extend the amount of time that we have in the air. We don't really need to do that for these. I just do it for swag. But this one is actually important because this is the end of the auto-scroller. So actually using our Super Smash here, double jump, using the Super Smash, extending a bit more forward, that actually skips 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to jump on that urn 5 times in order to knock it down. What do you call it? Yeah, essentially just using the Super Smash there can extend our dump. Since that's the end of the auto-scroller, we can just skip that very last section, save a couple seconds, save a second or two. Right here, we're going to skid off and die right there. Now, if you noticed in the last level, after the cutscene played, I did my best to not skid and not do the skidding animation. So this is the skidding animation as I enter the door. And that's because whenever you skid before you enter a door, you basically remove the skid frames into the next level. And so what I did there is I saved my skid frames. And so I was able to skid off and skip the cutscene in the last level. And so that is like since I think it's the only place that we do it in this run, but it saves like about 10 seconds because that cutscene is a pretty long cutscene that shows you the whole room. And again, we don't want to watch cutscenes. Cutscenes are boring and cringe and slow, and we don't want to participate in that. Now we're going to pay the 600 snack gate. Now, fun fact about this is that warp gate, we can actually use that warp gate to skip all like this level and that snack gate, which is really funny. But again, we can't enter the levels earlier than Nintendo, so we can't. But it's literally just because that snack gate is linked up to another snack gate, and since they have the same code, we can just skip that 600 snack gate in pretty much every other run, which is just a really funny thing that I just wanted to mention, just because it's kind of funny that we just like skip a 600 snack gate by simply just warping around it. And so right here, we need to kill all 4 of these gargoyles. And you saw me specifically not knock down the pillar for that gargoyle. And that's because we're going to use this pillar to get this key. And then we're going to death abuse because there's actually a really, really long cutscene with Scooby as he with Shaggy as he flies around the level. And so actually death abusing after we collect that key and running all the way back across the level to the end of the level is actually faster than watching the cutscene, which is absolutely crazy. But that is the reason why we didn't kill that third gargoyle. And well, we did kill the third gargoyle. That's why we didn't knock down his pillar, so that we could get that key and then jump off. And that also skips the use of Shaggy as well. Now here we're hitting all of these buttons until there's some snack boxes that spawn in the back. These are RNG where they spawn, but it's 20 snacks and you're guaranteed one of these. And basically how these are called coffins, and how they work is normally in Hundo, you would want to activate all of them, but in NLE we just want the 20 snacks, so we just open up one coffin, so we just hit the buttons until one pops up, because the first time that you open up the coffins you have a 100% chance. As soon as you open up one and get snacks, you have a 75% chance, and then it goes down from there. But that's not important, because now we get those 20 snacks for free, and then now we are making our way to the second boss fight of the game, the Green Ghost. And we're basically going to make our way through here using our charge attack to get around these enemies here without getting hit by any of these tar monsters. We're going to super smash on that guy just so he's out of our way. And now we're going to fight a Green Ghost. And hey, guess what? Fun fact, similar to Black Knight, Green Ghost is also heavy RNG. So we want to hit him 3 times in these coffins. This is actually really good for us because this is a guaranteed 2-hit setup right now, which is nice. So we get to get 2 hits. With Daphne here, we get 2 hits on the Green Ghost. So now we just need 1 more. If he goes left, we get perfect Green Ghost. Ooh, perfect Green Ghost RNG for the kids at home. Yes, sir. That is exactly what we want to happen. That is the fastest way to do Green Ghost. And we're going to pause storage again away. And we're going to make our way back to Lighthouse 2, which we warped away from earlier. And we actually initiated our pause storage warp a bit earlier before that cutscene plays, so we get a bit of a fade, so we can skip a bit of the fade as we exit. We're going to do a little ring around the rosy here, collect some extra snacks, and we're going to make our way out of Lighthouse 2 back into Which Way 1, because now we are heading to Redbeard and the shipwreck levels. And we're just going to collect some of these snacks here along our way. We're going to jump up, and Green Ghost gives us this, the umbrella invention, which allows us to float. So we use that umbrella to get those snacks in that arc, and then we're going to use the umbrella here again to float across here and make our way into Wreck. And so now you're going to see us using the umbrella a lot in order to get to certain places faster. And use our new umbrella in some pretty fancy ways, especially in the next level. But we'll get to that in a second, because right now we're just gonna kind of make a cycle. We're making a cycle with the water in this level. So I said anything that moves at the beginning of the run is on a cycle, and that means the water too. So this water is on a set cycle, and we're making this set cycle here. We're gonna jump up here, ground pound. This lowers those shipwrecks down, and then we're gonna wait for the water again. Water on a cycle. We're just gonna make our way through here. Past the water, collecting all of these snacks along the way. Flick out here, collect that snack, and then we're going to dash past that tar monster again with Scooby's charge attack, hitbox shrink to his head. And then we're going to make our way into Wreck 2, where we're going to do a really, really cool and very hard jump. And so that's deceptively harder than it looks. And basically what we do there is that we use Scooby's Super Smash to extend ourselves just enough so that we have enough distance to make it on to that mast. And normally you have to hit the button at the very beginning of the level in order to get to these masts, but what we're going to do is just use Scooby's Super Smash and the umbrella in order to just fly through this level without participating in it at all. And you're probably very upset if you are a casual player of the game, you're just a fan of the game, of how easy I'm making this level, because it is one of the most challenging levels in the game, even for speedrunners. Speedrunners and casuals alike, both of us, firm handshakes and the difficulty of this level, but we're just going to skip right by it, using the Super Smash, using the umbrella, without having to hit any of those buttons. And then now we're going to make our way into Wreck 3, where we're going to jump up this little railing here, using the little railing along the wall there, and then we're going to float up here, and again we're going to dash past this guy, and we're just going to right around him. We're going to use this ledge on the wall here. No, we're not. We're going to Super Smash off of him. There is a ledge on the wall. I messed up the jump timing. But now we're going to jump over here. And then we're just going to jump past all of that invisible wall, jump up and over that invisible wall to make our way into Aghast 1. And we just skipped the majority of Wreck 3, because Wreck 3, again, there's not that many snacks in that level, so they're kind of slow, so we just kind of want to skip that. And similar to slow levels, here's the slowest level in all of NLE, and that is Aghast 1. Aghast 1, unfortunately, we skipped this level in a lot of categories, but unfortunately we have to play it in this one. But we're just going to kind of make our way through. And again, as you can see, there's just single snacks here. They're not very fast. So what we want to do is just really like bulldoze through this level as well. We're going to super smash off this witch just to get by her a bit cleaner. And then we're going to float down here. Get this guy, jump off this crab for a little bit of extra height. And then we're going to jump over here. We're going to ground pound off this witch again. Jump over here. And then ground pound off that flying fish to get back here because there's 2 snack boxes here that we want, which are really fast. And then we're going to use the momentum from the boat to fling us downward and then make our way into a gas too. So those boats have really weird physics with the floor, and so we just use that in order to just sling ourselves down in order to just fly down to the bottom, which is a really cool mechanic of that level. Then we're going to go over here, get another frame perfect on that button in order to open up this door without playing the bonking animation when we hit buttons with our helmet. Use the super smash to ground pound off the wish. Use the super smash to extend the amount of time that we have in the air to jump up there to get that snack box. Use a skid jump in order to extend the amount of time in the air, and then use the super smash to hit that button. All in tandem. As you can see, we're using all of our inventions in order to make our way through these levels the fastest way possible. Gonna ground pound off that flying fish. Sneakily get that snack as we go through here. And this is also another hate it level because of how difficult this level is as well. And I'm going to try to not die, do my best not dying impression, and try to hit these snack boxes before hitting the water there. And then I can make a cycle with this platform here. Ooh, nice. I got a lot of those snacks. Very easy to miss those snacks and very, very easy to die in that level. So that's very nice that that did not happen to us. And we can now kind of breathe a bit. Wreck and Aghast are some of the hardest levels in the game, especially like even as a speedrunner. Like obviously I kind of made them look pretty easy, but those are very stressful levels for us movement-wise because it's very easy to just fall down, miss a little ledge, you know, and then just like, you know, get watered up and get drowning emoji, you know. We don't want a drown emoji. We generally want Scooby to not interact with water at all. We want to avoid water unless we are Great Dane Jesus. So now, again, this is the 750 snack gate I was talking about. Big snack gate. Now we're at 375 snacks, and we still have to pay an 850 snack gate after this. So again, if you thought we were over collecting, we're not. We still have a ton of snacks in order to collect. So right here in Shiver 1, what we're going to do is we're going to jump up this rope, and we're going to get to the top of here so that we can hit this key, and then we can fall down, and there's 4 keys in this level, and we can basically skip this section with the platforms as we trigger them and they rise up, but we can just go on. I will explain this in a second. I'm using the momentum from the trampolines. Oh, fuck. I did not say that. No one hurt, no one hurt, no one hurt. Shut up. Oh my god, please. Okay, whatever. I guess I'm just giving up those snacks. So we use the... That is really hard to talk and play at the same time. Wow. We're using the trampoline. We're trying to hit all those snacks in that line. Unfortunately, we didn't hit that many of them. The first arc was pretty good. The second arc was a bit rough. But that is a testament of how hard it can be moving with momentum gained from like trampolines or treadmills or really anything in the game. So right here, we're just going to collect all of these snacks before we enter Shiver 2, which is where Redbeard is. So we're just going to kind of jump up here, and we're kind of just do this out and back motion and collect all these snack boxes. Unfortunately, there's not a really good way of collecting these snack boxes, so we're just going to go right through there, and we're going to enter Redbeard.
Ready!
And basically, Redbeard gives us the gum upgrade. And so what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to manipulate Redbeard in a very specific way to have him throw his sword straight up, 21-21, in order to cut all 4 ropes at once. Okay, I only got a single rope there, unfortunately, but that's the idea. The idea is that we want Redbeard to throw his sword straight up, and we can actually get a 4 rope. And we want a 4 rope because essentially these waves of enemies scale each rope that you cut. So ideally we want to cut all of them at once. And so we're going to do a bit of a similar thing here. Wow, I can't believe that didn't multi-rope. Well, unfortunately I didn't get a multi-rope, and essentially if we get a 4 rope, we save a minute and a half. So we're kind of just eating a minute and a half because again, these waves of enemies scale up. So as you saw, there's two Captain Moody ghosts there, and these ghost waves extend. So now there's going to be 3, and we're actually going to intentionally get hit so that we can manip them so they laugh at us, so that we can super smash all 3 of them. Jump up, we want him to throw the sword up because it has shorter travel time than him throwing it like all the way down here. And we're just going to dodge all these waves of ghosts by just standing on top of the rope. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show off the multi-rope, but we do have a consistent setup for it. I just kind of botched it there. Unfortunate. But again, now it's going to be 4 waves of ghosts and 4 enemies to super smash. So as you can see, it's really easy. It's a really big thing to hit, especially if you're running a top time in this category. 4 ropes basically a must. But that's all right. We are going to accidentally get hit because I forgot that the guys spawn here. But now we're just gonna super smash them, and then we're going to pause storage away from Redbeard, and then we're actually gonna pause storage while the sword is traveling because it's gonna cut as soon as we unpause. So it cuts, we get the gum, and then now we are out of there. And now we're in Creepy 3, where we're going to do a little trick here where we're gonna jump off this urn. And we're going to try to make it in. Nice. We'll make it into Gus 1. We can jump over that. So we skip all of that. All of the wards. We skip all of the... normally you have to open up some keys and hit a bunch of buttons. And we just don't want to do that. So we can just jump straight there. And we actually died. And so since we died in that level as we entered, what that means is for some reason... The little gate there, in order to get into this side hallway here, is already open. So we actually can just avoid the minigame with Shaggy, as well, who was stuck in that barrel. And then we can just make our way over here. We're going to get into the side hallway here and get some of these snacks as they're really, really quick. And then we're going to try to dash around this guy. We didn't get it, and then we're just going to B-dash. There is a way to clip past that gate, but I don't know how to do it, and it's really hard, so I don't do it personally. So I just get the key. I just eat the 2-3 seconds of time lost there, and then make my way into Gus 2. And then here, we're going to go for another frame perfect on that guy, and then we're going to make our way to the back and break open those boxes in order to get some snacks, and then jump on here, and we're gonna have to watch this cutscene because we need that in order to get up to the top of there, because at the top there is where the keys are to enter the next level, Cellar 1. And so I'm gonna float up to the top here using this, and we're gonna just do a little jump out and back motion here in order to collect all 4 of these keys. And we're actually gonna jump all the way over here first, and then we're actually gonna jump back, float, hit that key, then do a little pumping motion down there in order to get this. We're going to try to get the snack without getting hit. Nice. And then we're going to jump off some ledges along this wall in order so that we don't have to ride the slow fan to the top, because floating up that fan, let me tell you, is really slow, and there's like no snacks. So we just scale up the wall, we skip that completely, and now we are in Cellar 1. Where we are now officially on our way to collect our last upgrade of the game, the soap upgrade, which I talked about the soap a bit before back in Hill 2, but essentially what the soap does is it allows us to put enemies in bubbles and use them as platforms to jump off of them and to get to higher places, and we need that in order to access Mastermind. We're going to do a little skip so that we actually don't use the soap, but we just need to technically have the soap in order to make the run legit. So here we're going to make a cycle and hit all of those 3 keys down to the bottom floor in one cycle, and then we're going to do it again, but this time we're going to jump off that guy, ground pound here, we're going to ground pound off of this guy and collect this next, and collect all those snacks and basically hundo that room very quickly, but just doing 2 rounds of that, and then we're going to make our way into Cellar 2. Cellar 3, my bad, and we're going to go for a frame perfect on this button, hit it, jump off of that little tiny barrel in order to get enough height in order to hit that snack box there, And then we're going to get all 4 of these keys. Try not to get hit by these ghosts. We're going to do our best avoiding the ghosts. And good stuff. And now we're entering Cellar 4, which is where the... which is where the soap upgrade is located. But so Shaggy's going to get chased back into the back there. And so that's all well and good. We have to watch this cutscene. But as soon as that gate closes, there's 4 buttons that we're going to jump on and ground pound. And what we're going to do is that we're going to hit that. I didn't get it. So ideally, I want to B-dash off of that so that I can B-dash over here. Because since it's a slippery floor, I can't B-dash while I'm on the floor. Because again, slippery floor, we can't dash. And so what you're going to see me is doing is, again, jumping in order to switch my direction. Whenever I want to change partially, we hit that icebox there so that we could set up and get that snack box later. And then we're going to dash ourselves over here. And then jump up and over these guys. And then we're going to ground pound these washers. And then we're going to jump up using that railing to get that snack box. We're going to get these 2 snack boxes, get the soap upgrade, and then we're going to warp to Creepy 3. And we are now finally on our way to Mastermind and to the 850 snack gate, which if you notice, I have 721 snacks, which is not enough, as you can tell. So what we're going to do is that we are going to do this little upstairs thing in Creepy 3, and those are the keys I was talking about before when we were entering Gus. We normally have to activate a button in order to knock those keys down and collect all of them, and it's just really slow and we don't want to participate in it. So again, we skipped all of that earlier on. And then we're going to get hit by the first hook and then just damage abuse the last 3 hooks and make our way through back into Creepy 2. And then now we're going to slide forward and hit this magnifying glass so that we can actually move here. And then we're actually not going to use the soap. We're actually going to jump along these walls and do a trick known as RBS in order to get to the top of here. And normally we use RBS to skip the soap upgrade in a lot of categories. But again, since we can't skip levels, we need to collect the soap upgrade. But since we have the soap upgrade, we can enter that level however we want because we have the soap upgrade. So technically we are going through the levels in the intended order because we already have gotten the soap upgrade. So again, we can enter levels by any means as long as it's in the intended order that we are supposed to be going to, right? So we did RBS, a little trick there that normally skips the soap, but since we have the soap, we are still allowed to do it in this category. And right here, I'm looking for 780 snacks as I enter this level. I got 781. I actually had another one there, but we want 780 before we go into the little lab of hoarders too, because that will put us at the exact snack count that we want in order to collect the exact snacks that we need in these levels in order to pay the last 850 snack gate and finally fight Mastermind. And so again, we're going through these levels in the intended order. We're bouncing off that guy, and then buttons in this game are a little bit finicky, so we're gonna have to ground pound that one again. Gonna jump over here, collect this snack box, and then we're gonna go over here, collect these snacks, and jump off the railing to maintain our height a bit better. And then we're going to dash off and make our way into Lab 3. And in Lab 3, there is you can skip this cutscene, I think, on PS2. Unfortunately, we cannot do it on GameCube, so we're just going to have to watch this cutscene here. But fortunately for us, it's not too long of a cutscene. And we're going to try to hit all these buttons again. This is another section where the buttons are a little bit cringe, but that's all right. We're just going to... I like to do this thing where I try to kind of ride myself into them. And that normally makes pounding them a bit more consistent, but they're a bit finicky. And then right here, we're going to jump off this, and then we're going to land on this railing, and then we're going to jump out and back for this as well. Jump off this railing, and then we're going to make our way to the top here. Again, jumping off this railing, jumping off over here, and then floating all the way over here, and ground pounding this one to open the door. And then now, we're going to jump over here, and then get these snacks, and then I will be exactly at 835, which is exactly where I want to be. Because the next level, as we float back down, we're going to float back down to where the 850 gate is. And on our way down, there's 2 snack boxes that we want to collect. So 1, 2, and there's 1 hidden snack box at the beginning of this bridge. So we're just going to jump up to that, hit that, and now we are at 850 exactly. So all these snacks that we were collecting throughout the game, you thought I was going out of my way. You were like, is he really doing it the fastest way possible? I was. I just was. We ended exactly with 850, which is exactly where we want to be. And now that is, and now we're finally in Mastermind Room. And now that we're in Mastermind Room, again, we can enter levels as long as we're going into the intended order. We can enter them however we want. So we're just going to leave Shaggy to die to that shark, because we're just going to clip through this gate, holding up left on the D-pad, and we can just clip through the little door there. And we just hold up left on the D-pad. We skip all that. We don't have to play the minigame. We can clip right through the door and enter Mastermind 2. And again, since we're entering the levels in the intended order, we are allowed to do that. Now we're going to jump up here. And again, since we have entered the levels in order, we can do whatever we want here in this level, since this is the last level of the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip to the wall. And we're going to skip 2 of the 4 phases of the Mastermind boss fight. And so how we're going to do that is I just skipped phase 1. I entered the boss fight through the door, so I don't trigger the first cutscene to happen. And then basically we're going to hit here. We're going to wait 5 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to hit this button, and this tricks the game into, as soon as we hit this button, it tricks the game into thinking that we fought the 3rd phase as well. So there's normally 3 phases of enemies, so we just skipped phase 1 and 3 there. So we skipped phase 3 by doing that little button manipulation, and we skipped phase 1 by simply just clipping into the door a bit earlier. And now we're going to use our gum upgrade in order to just keep those guys out of our way. And we're going to hit Mastermind here. We're going to super smash him. And then when the electricity hits, the run ends. And that is Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. NLE, no levels early. So that is it. Thank you for your consideration, Horrible Games. Whether I'm in the marathon or not, hope it goes well. Always love being a part of your marathons in the past, and just big fan of the marathon in general. So can't wait to watch it. And that's gonna do it for me. So yeah, just peace out, guys. Have a good day.